It was just after 1 a.m. when Mark Harris, a single dad and part-time maintenance supervisor at Fort Wilkins, finished fixing a busted heater in the northern barracks. The base had gone quiet for the night, and as he moved down the hallway, toolbox in hand, he heard something that stopped him cold, a muffled sob echoing behind one of the steel doors. He paused, unsure whether to knock or mind his business. But then he heard it again. Soft, broken, desperate. He tapped gently. "You okay in there?" Silence. Then, a voice barely above a whisper. "Yeah, I'm fine." Mark hesitated, then slowly opened the door. Inside, the room was dimly lit by the glow of a desk lamp. A young soldier sat on the lower bunk, head in her hands, trembling. She looked barely out of high school. Her uniform was neat, but her eyes were red and swollen. "You don't have to say anything," he said gently, placing his toolbox down. "But I'm a good listener." She looked up, startled by the kindness in his voice. "I'm sorry," she whispered. I didn't know where else to go." Mark sat on the edge of the bunk opposite hers, keeping a respectful distance. "That's all right, no one should cry alone." For a long moment, she said nothing. Then, voice trembling, she whispered, "Today is the anniversary of my brother's death. He was a soldier, too. We grew up." It was supposed to be a routine inspection. Mark Jensen, a single dad and civilian contractor, had been fixing leaky pipes and squeaky hinges on military bases for years. He didn't wear a uniform, but everyone respected him. He was steady, quiet, reliable. That night, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the base quieted, Mark stayed behind in the east wing of the barracks, finishing a job most had forgotten. He liked working late, less noise, fewer eyes, and it gave him time to think about his daughter back home, Emily, 7 years old, with freckles and a stubborn smile just like her late mother. As he tightened the last bolt beneath the sink, he heard it. A stifled cry, low, guttural, coming from the room next door. He paused, knocked, nothing. He opened the door slowly. Inside, sitting on the edge of a bunk, was a young woman in uniform. Her cap rested on the floor. Her hands covered her face, shoulders trembling. A duffel bag was half packed beside her. She didn't even look up. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to intrude," Mark said, unsure. "I heard something. Just wanted to make sure you were all right." She looked up, startled. Her face was wet with tears. "I'm not all right," she whispered. "But I guess that's not new." Mark stepped inside and closed the door gently behind him. He didn't ask questions. He just pulled a metal chair from the corner and sat beside her. "I'm Mark," he said. "I fix stuff." She let out a dry, humorless chuckle. "You can't fix this. Try me." She took a shaky breath. "I just got my deployment orders. I'm supposed to leave tomorrow. But my mom, she's dying. Stage 4. I begged for a delay. Just a week. They said no. Duty first." Mark's heart sank. She looked down at her lap. "My mom raised me alone. Worked 3 jobs. Sacrificed everything so I could wear this uniform. And now, I have to choose between honoring her, or saying goodbye." Mark didn't speak right away. Then, softly, he said, "I know that kind of pain. When Emily's mom, my wife, was in hospice, I had to choose between staying with her or keeping my job. I chose her, lost the job, but I never regretted a second." She looked up, her lip trembling. "I know what the chain of command says," he continued. "But sometimes, what's right doesn't fit in a manual." She whispered, "I don't want to be seen as a coward." "You're not," he said firmly. "You're human, and that's braver than most." She looked away, and then, unexpectedly, reached into her duffel and pulled out a photo. It was of her mother, smiling despite the tubes in her arms. "I don't want her to die thinking I chose the army over her." Mark looked her in the eyes. "Then don't. There's always a way, even if it's hard." There was silence. Then she asked, "What would you do if you were me?" Mark didn't hesitate. "I'd fight for a different kind of mission, one no commander could ever understand. I'd go home, hold her hand, let her know she's not alone." Tears spilled down her cheeks. "They'll ruin my record, maybe even discharge me." He nodded. "Maybe, but you'll have no regrets. In records, they don't hug you back." That night, she packed her bag in full. The next morning, she left the base quietly. No farewell ceremony, no uniform, just a daughter racing against time. Mark didn't see her again for months. But one day, a package arrived at his door. Inside was a letter, a photo of the young woman and her mother holding hands in a hospital bed, and a simple message. She passed with me beside her,